Lyvation, ENT.
What's up, everybody? I'd like to introduce my younger brother. I got three brothers. Y'all all know Atheon, but this is my other brother. He's in Dallas, Texas. He's a radiologist, and I wanted to add and make him a part of this collective right now, and give Hosea, give them your introduction of who you are and what you do for a living and where you work.
Oh man, we can clarify. I'm a radiologist, technologist. I do CAT scans and stuff like that. I'm in school to be a PA for radiology right now. So I didn't have a patient right now, so I had a little time to like chime in, and hopefully I could, give some information or possibly answer some questions y'all might have, or let y'all know what's going on in this ER.
Hey, that's a good question. What exactly is going on in the ER right now? We're just getting like the local updates on everybody's region.
Well, I mean, it's basically what you're hearing about on the news. It's really happening. It's a shortage of PEs still. I've been a tech for 15 years, man. In ERs for 15 years. I was there when H1N1 and all that stuff was going on, and I've never had to reuse PPEs. I've never seen anything like this. So it's a real challenge. It's an eye opener. At first, I was one of the ones, when I first heard about it breaking out in China. I'm like, just wash your hands, things like that. Basic stuff you're supposed to do to help stop communicable diseases. So when it got here, all the news that you heard, things not well thought out about the disease, things like that. But the main thing is to protect yourself, wash your hands. But at the same time, if you are not protected, you have a huge chance of contracting the disease. But this whole thing about reusing the PPEs, like I said, that was new to me. Not having all the signs, people being asymptomatic and still communicating the disease with someone else, things like that. But it's pretty heightened. It's kind of, I don't want to use scary.
Yeah.
And provoke or perpetuate fear for everyone. At the same time, I have people around me who has been getting positive test results. So I work at another facility. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just had one the other day. I'm glad it was negative.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, because I know we have a few other healthcare providers in the room with us today, and I know they've had to get testing, before they went back on their shift. So I'm just curious if he had to do the same thing.
Yeah. So to be honest, like when it first started, I mean, we can't, take away the fact that you still could be sick and not have COVID. So I had a little dry cough, and the person I was living with was like, man, you need to, we have a baby at home. She was like,
yeah.
she was like, you don't know, staying on TV, the media kind of like, can push this agenda and, and evoke fear within people, you know what I mean? And it's a little unnerving, even though I guess it still can happen. I don't want to eliminate the fact that, there is a virus out there and people are, dying, but, they're putting fear in a lot of people, and a lot of people who aren't in the medical field don't understand a lot that goes on. We're trying to protect yourself too, but you still protect yourself. Do what you have to do. Take your vitamins, eat right, get some sun, things like that. I'm not going to speak against that. Those are the first barriers to, to make yourself healthy.
Salute.
Anyway,
Thank you.
So with the other knowledge and wisdom that you have to like wash your hands, be mindful of your surroundings, and things like that. But it's tough out here.
Yeah, man.
It's really tough. I see these patients. I mean, I'm scanning these patients and seeing, fluid, pneumonia, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing, some of these people are really sick and dying from the causes. So it is alarming. We're going to say that. How about that? It is alarming. Go ahead. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
My question, is that a pager in your hand?
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm talking with my hands. I took it out of my pocket. I get paged when. Sorry about that. So actually, to see where I am right now, I'm at the hospital right now. So this is my machine I use. I'm in here by myself. So yeah. I'm at. Go ahead, sir.
All right. With knowing what your job is and your details and what you see, how serious is it for the people in the emergency to differentiate from a person who comes in there with a influenza, with the flu, versus the person that they can say actually has the COVID virus? Because understand, there is no cure. They say right now, if there is no cure, why are they trying to say, wear this, put this at, do this? If there's nothing that we can't do with something that has different strands versus the regular flu. How are y'all protecting yourselves to make sure? I mean, if you getting tested every day, that's kind of taken away from what you got to do. Or, I mean, I'm just need to know what
All
the
right, so I hope I can answer the question. So what I've seen and what I've heard, right? So if a person comes in, with possible symptoms of flu, they're going to get the COVID test regardless, Mm-hmm. So they have like a little fast test over here where they go through the nose and stuff like that. That's what I had the other day, to be honest. So they're going to get that. If it's positive, I'm not exactly sure of the medication that they're going to give them, but a lot of them, they're kind of going back home too, and quarantining themselves, right? So for the sick ones, they're getting admitted. What's the criteria for that? I can't really give it to you. I can go and speak to them in there and see. But the people who are really just having labored breathing, can't really take care of themselves, they're going straight to the ICU floors or we have a COVID floor here where they take care of them. What medications that they're using, I don't know. I'm repeating myself. Sorry about that. And go ahead.
I say you good. No, go ahead. You good.
And for us to protect ourselves, like I said, diet, vitamins, all that, and then the barriers that we have, to go inside of the room. Every time I come to this place, man, I clean this place down with bleach. Here are my masks right here. I have a few more. I double mask it. And this is what I was saying. So the one at the bottom here, the pink one, is a N95. The one that's covering it is just a basic surgical mask. And you don't get any protection with that. So this is to prolong the use of the mask, which, I'm like, when you go into a room or you suspect even some type of whatever disease, whatever airborne disease, TB, pneumonia, or hepatitis, whatever that can be contracted through the air. Once you come out of a room, after you don everything, once you come out of that room, you're supposed to take it off.
Mm-hmm.
So I am new to all of this. We even have this thing right here to where this right here, we supposed to place our masks in, and they supposed to use some type of method to clean them so we can reuse them. I don't like that at all myself. Mm-hmm. So I'm just letting y'all, whatever hospital I go to, I take
the UV. It's UV radiation that they use.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right. So I should have said that. Sorry about that. So yes, sir. You're correct. So I kind of stack up on. I kind of stack up on these N95s, man, wherever I go, man. So and try. Once I feel like, and I got my goggles right here too. I got a few sets of these. I got a bunch of them in my bag over here. I got a bunch of masks, but you don't know. But I guess if I feel like I'm in a room, all right, so it's not suspended in the air, correct? Right? Correct. It's not suspended in the air. So what I tend to do, let's say if I'm pushing a patient, I would rather pull the patient than push. So I get in front just in case they do cough, right? If I'm pushing in a wheelchair, I kind of get on the side. Now, I'm just going to be honest, I've kind of ran somebody into the wall. Because if they cough, I don't want to go into
You don't want to walk through
path.
it, right?
Yeah, you don't want to walk kind of way yourself, right? So that's what I kind of do. I wait at the door and I talk to the patient before I go in the room just to see if they're going to cough or do whatever. And those are the ways that I kind of keep myself safe.
Well, is it not protocol at your hospital that all patients don a mask?
Yes,
it is ours.
They do have a mask, sir. Yeah. But sometimes they don't have their mask on. And you can't depend on these nurses as well. I'm just going to be honest. I have to tell them, hey, get that patient a mask before I go in that room or take them where they need to be. And they do. You have to be assertive. You have to stand firm and be strong no matter if you get ostracized or criticized by whomever. This is you. This is your body. You got to protect yourself. So, with that being said, I went on and went with the idea to, reuse my mask. Today, it's 6:30. I got here at 7. The hospital that I'm at today, I'm thankful for where I am because it's not that busy. And some days I don't get a patient, and some days I do get a patient. As long as I've been here, as long as I've been at this hospital since February, I've only had one patient that was hacking up a lung, and I'm thankful. I work at other facilities. I was at a Baylor, and Baylor is a huge corporation in Texas. So the traffic is a lot worse than this. I mean, you could have 15 patients that needing to be scanned. And you have multiple people in the room with you, so you can't really control the environment. You can't, control, because people are dirty. I'm just gonna be honest. A lot of people dirty. I mean, I come to this little facility, there's blood all over the place on the machines and stuff like that. I know I'm getting into something else. Sorry about that.
Are you good?
But like that place where I was at the other day, you know, I told myself I won't go back during this time, you know, because you can't account for everybody else. Everybody touching things, and you know, these patients, and they're sparse with the gowns, you know. And to be honest, like with the gown that I have right here, we don't have the throwaway gowns anymore. I hope this don't cut off. So this is a reusable gown that I have right here, if y'all can see that.
Mm-hmm.
And we spray it with peroxide, this crap that we have. And just to be honest, it's like I keep my gloves on. I'm taking a bath in these little bleach wipes. So I just wipe down like I'm doing a whore bath or something like that.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Hosea.
So and you wipe the gown off. But with
Hosea.
Yeah, what's up, bro? Yo.
Not to cut you off, I hear what you're saying. Before I even say my comment, the brother that you see right there in the pink shirt, his name is Duce. Yeah. He's a surgical tech. He works at the VA hospital in Fayetteville.
Oh, sweet. All right. All right.
When you get home, Duce, you too, when both of you guys get home, do you douse your clothes down or do you take them off at the door? Like what's your procedure that y'all normally do when y'all get home?
Man, as soon as I get to the door, my shoes are off. My shoes are off before I go in. And sometimes I get to wear these surgical boots that you can put over your shoes or whatever to kind of help. But still, I just take the shoes off and I kind of like almost get naked before I, you know, go in there, and I put my clothes in like a bag next to the washer or whatever because when I probably have another shift. So I put all my used scrubs or attire that I've had in that bag, and I use bleach with colors, man. That's pretty much what I do. Then I go take a shower. I don't touch anybody. Don't let anybody touch me, you know, until I'm clean. And pretty much that's how you should have been doing anyway. But go ahead, brother. Right. I didn't cut you off.
No, I'm a little less extreme, but because I work in scrubs, I change scrubs 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, well, see,
I'm a 3 to 11 guy. You know, like you working now. I'm work 3 to 11 Monday through Friday, but the clothes I wear go in my locker as soon as I get there. Put on scrubs. When I leave, whatever washing I do before I put my clothes on, I wear them out. When I get home, I just stop in the laundry room, take them off, you know, and the first thing I actually do before I even take off, before I even go in the house is wash my hands. You know, I'm not big on the juice. You know, the juice is good for contact stuff right away when you're dealing with patient care. But I'm a soap and water guy myself, so.
Yeah, that's how I should. Because you got spores on it, man. You know, you gotta watch those spores. You know, you have something that's like FSC diff, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So you have to scrub those off. You know, so I mean, that's and. I'm repeating myself. This is what people should have been doing before this happened. But it just, made news. How and how people have poor hygiene. In some instances, I know y'all been to the movies or to the restaurant or to the club or whatever it is. And you see this guy didn't wash his hands. Coming out,
that's at work. Yeah, you got people going to the bathroom.
Yeah, man. Yeah, or wherever. You know what I mean? And touching pens, phones, whatever, and then touching your face. Stuff like that. I mean, all it did is just really show how this stuff could really be communicated, and no one is really paying attention to it. So I've kind of always tried to be like that, but with this right now, I really try to be cognizant of my surroundings and instead of wash hands and things like that. So I have a coworker right now who didn't come in this weekend because he had a test. So we're gonna see what his results are. And he could have had it, got it outside. I mean, just because we're around these patients. I tend to say this, you rather, if you hear the lion roar and you don't see it, you're more fearful, right? But if you can see that lion right there, you kind of know how to deal with it, right? So I see the COVID patients, I know, so it makes me protect myself a little bit more, right? If I'm out, your father won't know. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little more, alarming. That makes sense.
Also, Hosea, your awareness level is up 110%. Versus the way we used to go in and just deal with patients and don't worry about certain things. Now our awareness level is so high that we do things that we didn't normally do because you've been in it over 10 years. You've been in it 15 years. So that right there in itself means you've been exposed to some different types of diseases, what you stated earlier, and so have I. So I understand, we have to do what we have to do to protect ourselves first. We are no good to the patient if we are sick. So we have to really take care of ourselves.
No. You're right, man. So I totally agree with that. That's pretty much what it is. Do no harm to the patient. Do patient no harm. I think that's what the mantra is. So and knowingly being sick and giving it to the patient, that's worse. It could be battery. You know what I mean? But experience kind of helps. So
I just want to throw something out there because
sir.
I'm a deep thinker. And
All right.
I ponder stuff outside the box.
All right.
Now, looking back throughout history for any types of diseases or whatever, the testing was always done swabbing the mouth. Now, if anything goes in your saliva or glands or your mouth or whatever, germs, so to speak, it's swallowed and then gets destroyed by the stomach acid by your body naturally. But by this being a respiratory, quote unquote, disease, virus, you have to breathe no matter what. So they're testing the nose as opposed to, so if it gets in your lungs, you got it. They've already stated that. If it gets in your mouth, then, like I say, it'll be destroyed by your stomach acid and pass throughout your body or whatever. But instead of swabbing the mouth, they're swabbing the air passage. So you have to breathe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been proven some of the tests are tainted, and Strong said, they even said on the news, they done that purposely to give it to people. So it's like, why swab the nose where you have to breathe and get a lung infection from breathing in the tainted test, as opposed to swabbing your mouth where it doesn't matter if the test may or may not be tainted. If they swab your mouth, you're going to swallow whatever germ or virus it was, and it's going to be destroyed. Therefore, the numbers won't spike. But if you're swabbing an airway passage, you're going to breathe it in, thus contracting the virus disease, hence numbers spiking. I just don't find the logic in. I know the answer, but it's like they purposely want to infect people so they can make money on the back end.
All right, now, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. It's so they can make money by making the more people that's sick and this virus staying around, because your body can't naturally fight it off with the defenses because they keep mutating it and splicing it or whatever they're doing. It's just like the flu. The only way we can get rid of it is vaccinate everybody. You know what I mean? And that's what I see them trying to basically do in a roundabout way. We can't get rid of it. The human body's not fighting off. Everybody get vaccinated. Everybody don't need to get vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? I just think different. I don't know. Maybe I make mountains out of molehills, but some things make you go, you know.
Well, I mean, of course, you want to be persuaded by your mind. You know what I mean? You don't want to just be like sheep or herd of cattle.
Ask questions, right? And, exactly.
You're taught to ask questions. You know, scientists do that, and they test theories and do this, you know, all the time. So you could be considered a scientist in whatever, you know, field that you're in. You know what I mean? Because you're asking questions, testing theories, pushing boundaries, and things like that. That's just human. That's just human nature, and you should be inquisitive, right? Now,
is everybody there?
I'm still here. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Still here.
Blank.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can't, with my knowledge, I can't answer that question as to why they're going through the nose. Of course, the different pharynxes communicate with each other, right? And when you have the mucus build up and, you know, stuff like that from diseases replicating and you know, or not replicating, but trying to fight the infection and the mucus and, you know, and stuff, you know,
right. That's your body.
The inflammatory processes.
Right.
Yeah. So I could see why, you know, it could potentially make its way up to the nasal passages or the nasal pharynx, if you want to get technical. I could see that it can go through there because they all communicate, right? I know you've probably seen these little trick videos to where somebody puts a noodle through their nose and come out their mouth, maybe, you know, or something like that.
Too much cocaine when they was younger.
Yeah.
They done burnt out sinuses. That's what that is.
Hey, it is possible, but you see these little white people doing that. Excuse me, you see people doing it. I don't think I've seen a black person doing it, but I could possibly Google the video maybe. But they communicate. That's all I'm trying to say.
Right.
The nasal pharynx, oral pharynx, larynx, you know, they all communicate. You're right. When you swallow it, you know, digestive, you know, it could be killed. But there are some diseases that, I mean, when you have those little bugs in your stomach that possibly don't get killed by it. You know what I mean? So my level of education, I probably couldn't answer that, you know, clearly, but
well, I just want to play and see if everybody thinks about it, you know, and come up with their own questions about it. It's like
that'll be
throughout history they always swabbed them out. Now all of a sudden they're swabbing the nose as opposed to the mouth. I just don't.
All right.
I just find something
because the nose is part of your respiratory system.
Yes, it is.
And this is a respiratory
and
disease.
All communicate. And pretty much they communicate.
And you got to think, you know, really you're supposed to be breathing through your nose anyway. You know what I'm? So I think most of your air passage is going to go through your nose. This is why they're testing like they're testing. You understand what I'm saying?
Question.
So, yes, sir.
It's a very important question. Have they like within your line of work? I know you work at different areas, different places. Have they spoke about the issuing of vaccines within the next couple months? Have you heard anything?
Is that to me?
Yeah.
I have not heard anything about vaccines at work.
Nothing?
No, nothing. Only thing they're telling me to do is protect myself. Nothing. I've heard about.
That's what they're telling me at my job too. Because
nothing at my job either.
I mean, we've had people that's been out of work because they have contracted it. You know, so they're like people going around cleaning stuff and you know, they haven't made it mandatory to make a mask, but they got stuff posted all over, you know, mask required in this area, mask required in this area. But it's not like they're forcing it. Get your mask on, get your mask on. Because we're classified as essential personnel too.
Where do you work, brother?
Again?
Where are you working, brother? What do you do?
I work for one of the world's leading freight companies. So it's basically goods and services we have to keep the shelves stock, commerce going through. Commerce got to move no matter what. It's just like the mail, the post office, rain, sleet.
Gotcha.
So
All right. Hey, you in there? You're an essential worker. You know what I'm saying? So
Right,
you still got to be protected anyway, because you're gonna be dealing. You're gonna come across people. So whatever you are. So.
Let me ask KY something. KY, you still there?
True indeed.
I know you deal with pharmaceuticals. Are you going to be one of the first people that they come to as far as issuing out the vaccines?
Hey, I didn't mean to. I'm gonna probably go away for a second. My relief is here. My shift is over at 7, so I'm gonna put it down for a second. Okay, fellas.
All right. To answer your question, they haven't said anything yet to us being mission essential as far as to deliver the medication and stuff. I haven't heard anything yet from my line supervisor or nor the chain. It's just still right now the same thing we're doing just to make sure that, we have our mask on and everything. We go to the facility, make sure that the nurses come down to us. We don't go back to the nursing stations anymore. They gotta come up to us, and then we exchange the medications to them and then sign off, and then we out. Each couple of facilities that I've been delivering to, I just found out now there's 2 more that's hit with the COVID. So there's signs up and everything about their facility. And it's serious out here. It is to the point of self-awareness. You gotta be self-aware of everything going on. And like I said, no matter what, you need to protect yourself.
Right.
You just gotta be careful about protecting yourself with what equipment that you have to work with. You know what I mean? They're not giving us no M59 mask. Matter of fact, I showed Duce the other day. I asked, I was at a nurse's station. Well, not a nurse station. I asked her if they had some extra masks they could give me. She gives me a pack of 100% cotton masks. And I immediately hit Duce up. I said, Duce, look at this. Is Duce still on there? Duce, am I right or wrong?
We did right. We had that conversation.
Dude, I said, Duce said that's 100% cotton. It's wrong.
So y'all should have called Kerdel at that point,
You know
You might
what?
as well just wrap a T-shirt around your face,
But see that goes back to my point, like you were saying, KY, is about the control thing. It is, these masks are necessary during these day and times, right? If you're gonna enforce something, let's enforce something that's really gonna save our life. That's the only issue I'm having.
But see, they don't want to save your life because it's depopulation.
Well,
So they want to act like they want to save your life.
No.
Kill them slow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, we understand. Now that we know that we're fighting against, we still have to protect ourselves.
So
this is my whole point.
Exactly.
We know what the war is. You already established that. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Yep. I'm gonna add on. The only person in this room, he can sit back and laugh if he wants to, who we have to depend on in the situation because of what he's selling. He has the safest job. We all have the danger of being out there. Kerdel is the only one that sits at home, run everything from home, make all the money from home, and don't have to go nowhere. So he's got this.
But that's not healthy. But see, that's not healthy.
That's not healthy to him. He needs to get out and get sunlight. And he needs.
I get out.
Yeah,
I get out, but I work from home is what he's getting at.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not on the front. You're not out here. Yeah, I know what you're saying. You're not an essential worker like that.
Right.
You interact with people when you choose to. It's not like right.
Exactly.
So you got more of a controlled environment, but don't sterilize everything and be like the boy in the plastic bubble. Then the wind blows through the window, and you're like, ah.
Nah, I'm good, man. We grew up on an island. I'm from St. Thomas, so
okay.
That bubble life ain't for me.
Now, are you still in touch with some of your roots back in the island? Like, what's going on in the islands, right?
Oh, of course. I ain't been there in a couple years. It's been close to like 5 years since I've been back.
How is this affecting them?
It's affecting them, but not as much. And a lot of people are actually trying to escape to down there because their cases are not very high,
Right.
you know. And I mean, they wear masks and stuff. You know, like if they're going into a store or something like that, of course, you know, be courteous, you know, spread nothing. But besides that, they're good. They got like the beaches. They shut them down at certain times. You know, try to keep things to a certain minimum, but more or less, it's still everyday life.
Right.
I heard the cases were kind of low down in Jamaica as well.
Trinidad as well.
Yeah, so I guess I don't know if the islands have a better policy or a more efficient policy, but it seems like
they got the tropical climate.
It's the climate.
It's the climate. It's the climate.
That's why
Cold climates are going to get hit even harder as it gets colder.
This winter, yeah.
think about it.
Yeah, because the virus can't live it can't live in heat, but it can live in cold because it slows down the process. It doesn't stop it. Yep.
Hold on, let me correct you. Go ahead, Apex. But I want to add on to what Duce said. Go ahead, Apex.
You got to look at. You don't hear too many severe cases in the Central American countries and South American countries because they're in a warm climate. Like Mexico, they've been running through this whole thing like nothing's going on.
And I haven't even heard anything about Africa.
Well, Colombia, they took precautions in Colombia.
Africa numbers went down. It went down. And I also heard that Africans were given the vaccines by Bill Gates in certain countries. But they're speaking out against that. They're calling out for the leaders because they know what his agenda is. So most of the political leaders, governors, and presidents of the different cities and stuff like that are boycotting and blockading the virus.
I think they burnt one of the facilities.
Yeah.
Breaking up, K-Wise.
I'm saying, Bill Gates, come on, man. He ain't qualified to be.
He's not a doctor. He's not even in a medical field, but he owns a patent to a vaccine.
Right.
He's sticking listen. I seen him, they filmed him sticking the pen in the baby. He ain't stuck him in the head like we know what the lessons teach, but the method is still the same. You understand what I'm saying? He's injecting us with the poison. Starting to kill the baby. Come on now. That's the Lord to the nurses.
I got a thing I was gonna send everybody the other day, but I just haven't got around to it. And it was something I came across. I might have sent it to a couple of y'all. I might have sent it to X. I don't know. But it was just saying how it is mandated that, you know, once they come up with a quote unquote cure for this thing, you know, that it's going to be mandatory that you take it, and it is lawful. If you don't take it, then you're breaking the law because you're jeopardizing the health of others. Just so y'all get it, and that's something that I wanted to do more research on before I started presenting that to the group, because I wanted to make sure that was actual factual.
Yeah, what you're saying is, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, that's in Bible scripture.
They're gonna add it to a public health crisis if you don't. So you're gonna be considered a public health risk.
And that's when you're gonna get locked up, and then they're gonna force you to take it, I guess, or they're gonna throw you in a COVID prison. You know what I'm saying? You know, that kind of thing. I don't know. I'm just speculating right now, but I did want to do some more research on that before I started bringing that up.
Hey, question, since it's dealing with safety and the safety of this panel of this show, before we move on to another show on the next Sunday, because he's been flying around with his cape, I think we need to get KY's tested as soon as possible.
Well, I think he needs two tests.
He fly in front of it. It can't catch him. It can't catch him. You know, he's supersonic speed, right?
X, he's faster than the coronavirus. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
There you go. There you go.
Kerdel, that's a super. KY is a superhero on this show.
Now you gotta get that superhero Kerdel mask. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see the Spider-Man. That's dope.
Human Black Panther. But no.
People kill me with that fake news on the internet, sharing useless information with some faces that they never met. I know it's true cause I saw it on the internet. I know it's real cause I read it on the internet. You not a gangster, you just have anger issues. You gon' run your mouth to the wrong one and they ain't gon' miss you. They gon' get you right outside the Hobby Lobby, probably with your old